Well, hello and welcome back. And a huge thank you for coming back. Where are we? Sitting right at the top of Paphos, a little area called Konya. And of course that is the view straight down to the Paphos Harbour and of course the blue Mediterranean Sea. And that is where we're heading. So don't click off just yet. So what's going on in Paphos as we speak? We are rapidly now approaching, of course, the Christmas period. December is literally around the corner, and of course people are starting to do their Christmas shopping and perhaps those Christmas festivities. And of course you've got to go to Jumbo. For those of you who know a little bit about Cyprus, probably you visited Jumbo in the Neon Mall and of course, well, got trapped because it's one of those places where you have to go in the main entrance and work your way around the whole store until you can get out the other end. And well, whenever I go in there, I always set myself a task of only buying the thing or things that I want. But as most of you who've been on that little passage through Jumbo know, that when you get to the tills, often you end up with a bill of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 euros. And those of you who know the store know that most things are very, very cheap indeed. You can buy many, many items for €1 or €2. Why am I talking about Jumbo? Because it's a great place at Christmas. Everyone who lives in Cyprus knows that. And if you want Christmas decorations, little gifts, shall we say, Jumbo could be that shop that's waiting especially for you. So we're heading down through Konya down to Yeriskipu. We're going to skirt around Yeriskipu and head down to the Paphos Promenade and Harbour area to let you guys see what's going on just before December commences. And you may have noticed that the sun is shining up in the sky, and I mean, look at that for a view. Sky is blue, the sea is blue. If you remember, Mr. Paul is always dressed head to toe in blue. So that must mean one thing. All that is missing is you. So come on, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy, because Paphos, Cyprus, Marika and me, you've guessed it, we're waiting especially for you. So we're in the rear streets of Yeriskipu and we're going to keep going a little bit and we're going to join the main road. It's referred to us by the locals as the Old Airport Road. So I think it gives you an idea that obviously this road must go out towards the airport. Now that gentleman was flashing his lights at me. I wonder why. Is there a police stop or something? I don't know. It appears not, but there we go. Perhaps he thought he knew me, shall we say. What's this chap doing now? He's asking this chap for some money, perhaps? No, he's just shaking his hand. There we go. So we are about to head deep into Yeriskipu. This, as we join now, is the Old Airport Road. If you go to the left, you go out towards Timi, which of course is where the airport is situated, and Mandrea and Anarita. Perhaps those are more familiar little towns and villages for those of you who know Paphos. We've taken a right, and this is the main drag through probably the most highly populated part of Paphos, known as Yeriskipu, and a very, very upcoming area. Obviously been very popular with Cypriots for a long, long time. But if we skirt off down the lefts and the rights, we will find that they are starting to build lots of upmarket, very, very nice apartment complexes. And over the last few weeks, a few people have asked me my opinion on Yeriskipu. And my opinion on Yeriskipu is very high, by the way, because lots of people choose the area known as Universal. Now, I'm talking to people who know Paphos well now. So perhaps you're thinking about buying a holiday home with the future intent to retire to Cyprus. So a lot of people choose places like Universal, Kato Paphos. But, and there's always a but, isn't there, wherever you buy a property, you are going to pay premium price in Kato Paphos and of course in Universal. Why? Because it's much closer to the main promenade and harbour area and within walking distance. But you will still need a car because the infrastructure around that area, in other words, shops, supermarkets, chemists, doctors, pretty much non-existent. It's all focused on tourism. In other words, the promenade and the harbour, the bars and the restaurants. So if you are looking to retire here long-term or relocate here on a long-term basis, perhaps this area could be better, because you may have noticed on this main drag, as we call it, there are shops galore, hair salons, pharmacies, supermarkets, bakeries, coffee shops, exactly. So yes, you still need a car, but you'll find that the car is only there as a necessity when you want to go to the main supermarket, or perhaps to the hospital, or of course to the airport. So Yeruskepu is a very, very up and coming area with foreigners. More and more foreigners are starting to buy in Yeruskepu because they're starting to recognize its benefits, and they get a benefit in their pocket because it's a little bit cheaper currently than if you to buy a property in and around Universal or Kato Paphos. Anyway, there you go. That's me broadcasting the benefits of Yeruskepu, and this is still Yeruskepu, by the way. Now we are working our way slowly down towards the promenade and the harbour area, and a lot of people will know the route very, very soon indeed. At the end, we'll get to a set of traffic lights and we will take a left, head down the tree-lined avenue, and of course Kato Paphos and the Hotels Road will be coming up very, very soon indeed. Now, can I ask you for a little favour? Hopefully you enjoy the content on the little channel known as Marika and Me. If you do, it doesn't cost you a single penny, but please consider to hit the thumbs up, the like button, and we thank you very, very much indeed. Perhaps consider to subscribe to the channel. What does it do? Well, it tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and hopefully they will recommend the little channel known as Marika and Me to more like-minded people like yourselves. Again, doesn't cost you a single penny. So please consider to hit the like and of course subscribe to the channel. Got to be very careful at these traffic lights, by the way, because these have cameras on them. So if we're naughty and go through on amber or red, we will get a little bit of an infringement on our credit card. Yes, we will indeed. And if you're curious to know how much it is if you go through a red light, in Cyprus it is 300 euros. Yep, 300 euros. So if you are hiring a car, whether you're hiring a car from myself or another company, please be very careful at all traffic lights. Not all have cameras, but just take it in your mind that they all do, so be very, very careful. And of course then you can't get that fine. And of course the car hire company is notified in less than 30 minutes, so you're not going to get away with it, shall we say. Anyway, as promised, the tree-lined avenue that takes us down to the main Hotels Road, and of course downtown Kato Paphos, the promenade and the harbour area, which of course, if you're coming on holiday to Cyprus, is probably the main focus and the area that you could be staying in. Perhaps drop in the comments, when are you planning to come to Cyprus? Which hotel, which resort are you planning on staying in? Have you been to that resort before? Feel free to ask us questions and we'll get back to you with the relevant information and the answers. Now, remember, if you're thinking about relocating to Cyprus, we are the guys for you. Get in contact with us via the website marikaandme.com, relocate to Paphos at gmail.com, and of course relocate to Cyprus at gmail.com. On top of that, our telephone number, WhatsApp, is in the description on this video. Reach out and let's schedule a WhatsApp video call, and you can ask as many questions as you want. Obviously there is a charge for that, so reach out and get in contact with us, and we'd like to help you make that move to paradise and of course to Cyprus. There are huge benefits for people moving to Cyprus. Obviously the weather I don't know where you're watching from, but if you're watching from the UK, perhaps somewhere in mainland Europe, you probably haven't got weather like this. Are you curious to know what the temperature is, what time of day it is? It is precisely 11:15 in the morning, and the temperature is 24 degrees. I'm sure right from the very start of the video, you have noticed that the sun is shining and that the sky is blue. And very, very soon indeed, you are going to get a glimpse of the blue Mediterranean Sea. This is Hotels Road. We've joined it pretty much at its central point. Coming up on the left-hand side is the Ampura Resort. In the distance is the Almira Hotel, the Amalfi Hotel, and of course the Alexander the Great Hotel. And then we will crescendo down the last little part, of course, towards the promenade. Back to it, relocating to Cyprus, Paphos in particular, some of the advantages if you take that plunge. Tax advantages, obviously, they are huge. Perhaps you've got some children and perhaps you're thinking about privately educating those children. Well, you're going to find that the school fees for the private schools in Cyprus are a fraction of the cost of what a private education would cost you in the UK and of course many other parts of mainland Europe. What else have we got? A fantastic healthcare system, whether you use the national health system or whether you choose to go private. And if you go private, again, there are huge financial benefits. We are talking often less than half the cost, and in many cases much less than that, perhaps if you want a knee replacement and these kind of things. Crime, a huge topic at the moment in the UK and of course in and around Europe. Obviously we do have crime, and the crime is unfortunately rising, but not as dramatically as it is in other countries around the world, for example the UK and mainland Europe. And I don't want to actually say this, but we do get the odd murder, and it's a shame, and we do get the odd stabbing. But when we get it, it really, really does make the headlines. Whereas when we read the new press from the UK, you know, these things are they're not even on the front page, they're on the third page, the fifth page, the sixth page. And it's scandalous, the society that we live in. I don't want to rant on about it. We all understand that the world is changing very, very rapidly. Feast your eyes and digest. That's what you could be coming to, the calmness and the tranquility of Kato Paphos and the promenade and the harbour area. And the last time I looked it up, this is a joke now by the way, there has no one been murdered in and around Kato Paphos for many, many years, and there's no one been stabbed again for many, 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 many years. So, not a bad place to live. Could be a great place to come for a holiday, perhaps to start your investigations while you decide if Cyprus, Paphos in particular, could be that place for you to relocate to. And there are many, many people that have taken that plunge, and there are many people actually documenting it on YouTube to give you the faith and to give you the confidence that you can do it. Because often people think, you know, I can't do it, you know, I don't know if I've got the confidence to do it. Well, you have. You've just got to do a little bit of research, and in most people's cases, get someone to help you. So get in contact with a relocation specialist, someone like ourselves, and allow us to help and to guide you along the way. Allow us to find you some suitable rental accommodation based on your requirements. Allow us to find you a rental car, or perhaps even to purchase a car. Allow us to hold your hand while we guide you through the immigration process. These are the services that M&M Relocation Services offer you. There are other companies offering similar services, but we believe, and all of our customers have told us, that there is no one that does more for you than we do. We take you to the supermarkets to familiarize yourself and to get your head around the different prices. We take you in many cases to do furniture shopping, perhaps to put around that pool. I've taken people around car dealerships and found them that perfect car that they wish to buy. So these are some of the services that M&M, Marika and Me, provide to you guys. So if you are looking to relocate to Cyprus, Paphos in particular, drop us a line. Let's become friends and let's make your trip, your next adventure, unbelievable. Because I promise you, if you take the plunge, you will have a fantastic adventure in Paphos. Again, if you're only coming for a week or two, you're going to get a fantastic holiday indeed. That was Kato Paphos Harbour. We are now heading up towards the main mall of Paphos, and it's called the King's Avenue Mall. Great place to hang out in the summer because of course the air conditioning is on, and a great place in the winter because if it's a little bit chilly, obviously they put the heating on. Like most malls around the world, it's pretty generic, and it's got some of the shops that you will find familiar, and of course coffee shops galore and a food hall. So if you fancy some variation in food, it could be the place that's waiting just for you. I'm going to say a huge thank you for watching. Truly appreciate your time. Hopefully you'll hit that like, hopefully you'll subscribe to the channel, and hopefully you'll come back and join me again very soon indeed. Thanks for watching.